quadrant yet.
Environmental review would be quite a few $1,000s.
Yeah, I think we had thought it's, be probably on the order of $10,000 type of study. There may even be, archaeological studies required with, shovel tests and the whole thing.
Could we use some of the studies when we put the water main in?
Yeah, I know I think on the Benedict Beach district we did.
I know we did Nuco.
Yeah.
Benedict Beach.
It's possible if our alignments are fairly close with the water line. You deviate much, and they want the where those shovel tests and soils are studied. They want those in pretty close proximity to where you're going to disturb things.
Those two beaches, you're kind of confined to begin with. So it's going to be fairly close to where the water main is, I should think. Yeah.
So we may be able to take some. That may reduce that piece of the puzzle, but still. I would say not a big piece of it.
I'm just asking if there's a possibility if we could use those stuff.
Yeah, I think some of it,
lower the cost.
Some of the data is certainly still valid, but it brings it down, some percentage, but doesn't erase it.
Not no great amount.
Right, right.
I'm thinking we'd have to probably have a public referendum, wouldn't we?
Well,
I know it's in that spot.
It's in that spot where we gotta know what we're presenting as a cost.
Right, right.
Probably have to have 2 weeks because you've got a lot of people involved in one.
Yeah, right. Informational meeting.
That last informational meeting, I was, I don't recall who was there, but there was quite a bit of, people understood it's costly, but, a 2% interest rate is got no other direction to go but upward. So I think that people realize this someday it's going to be really, really almost forced at some point, and it may be more economical sooner rather than later. But obviously that's going to be a vote or a decision for them.
It'll be their choice. Yeah.
That'll be their choice. Okay, so is that it for Lakeshore? We'll just
we'll
have to regroup.
Regroup and see where we want to go with that. We're gonna have to. I'm almost thinking we'd almost have to run kind of a informal poll on like to see if the support's still there or not.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was 2 years ago.
So things may have changed.
Right.
So, and I'll get with I'll ask them where they stand with their funding allocations.
Okay. Next one, last summer we prepared some estimates for looking at extending water main on Redmond Road from Roosevelt Highway up to north of Brick Schoolhouse Road, about an 8,000 foot section. Since we had prepared it with ductile iron pipe and with PVC, we got word from the Monroe County Water Authority that in the water agreement between Hamlin and the Water Authority, the PVC pipe is allowed, so that the cheaper of those cost estimates would apply. So the $382,000 project cost would apply. That assumed that the highway department would be doing the construction work. At that, it was costing about $1,200 per year. So it's a fairly rural district, so it's costly because you're not catching a lot of houses on that. I think there's around 23 houses in that 8,000 foot stretch.
Not that many. There's a lot of.
So it's a costly project. My estimate's probably it averages at about $36 a foot. I think the town, we could probably get it done less than that, but I'm not thinking by huge amounts. It's a low density project. So that was kind of floating out there, and I hadn't heard where anybody wanted to go with that. Again, it might be just something to float back to the residents there in a memo or a letter and see what kind of interest there is.
pressure system, right?
There was, yeah,
And therefore, we would have pumps required.
every house,
Every house would have a pump.
that's right,
So if the electric goes off, we're not pumping.
that's right.
And would it, how soon before the electric went off, before the sewer stopped?
Pretty
Septic.
soon.
Pretty darn fast.
Pretty soon, but you know, there is a lot of experience with these systems now. And, you know, when the power's out, the first thing, you're not doing dishes and you're not doing laundry and you're not jumping in the shower in the dark. You know, so your water use is dropping down pretty good as well,
Okay,
so.
if, like I have my own generator system,
Yep.
so would mine still be usable? Or would my neighbors who do not have that, would they be plugging up the line, going out?
Well, it wouldn't plug up the line, so,
Okay, so I could still use
You
mine.
could still use an
with
individual.
having my own electric,
correct.
okay.
You know, these are usually a 240 volt, couple horsepower motor,
Right.
so it's, you know, depending on how big your home
I got a
generator.
whole house generator.
Yeah, it
so
would probably
it'll
run.
take it,
Yeah.
it'll take everything else.
The lights might dim a little bit.
That's it, we turn the lights off. Priorities.
Yeah.
Okay, so with the generator system,
Yeah.
that's putting out enough
Yep,
voltage.
they're doable.
Okay, and it wouldn't matter if the neighbors had it or not.
Nope.
So this pumps from your house into a sewer line,
Into a common force line.
and that line is forced by what?
Well, initially by all the house, you know, each house individually pushing together.
Right,
And if one's on or 40 of them are pumping, it's, the line just
still gonna
pushes
flow.
along.
Okay,
Yep. And then they ultimately would be going to more centralized, large pump stations.
right,
But, you know, you can get quite a few homes on a shared line, shared pressure line. It's done, you know, these are the applications around, there's several on the Finger Lakes.
right.
See, it's, you know, some of the smaller lake shore where there's just, gravity just isn't feasible up and you're already at the low spot.
How long do the pumps normally typically last?
The manufacturers give give you probably, you know, some are gonna last 10 years, some are gonna last 40 years, it depends on,
Okay,
you know, what people throw at them.
so
But,
they're made in the USA then?
Yeah, in fact, there's two really good, there's one company, E1, made in, near Albany area, and you've probably seen this place many times, right by, in Bergen, the Liberty Pumps.
Oh,
They make an excellent
they do,
little
make
grind.
good pumps.
This would be similar to Long Meadow up here, the pumps, correct?
Yep, they have the E1 pump that's made in the Albany area. So they're very
Okay,
reliable.
so the pumps are good.
And they're sort of a, kind of a, what's the right word? Sort of an interchangeable part type of design, where they call it the core. And that's really where all the moving, the cutters and the pumping parts are. And it's literally,
Modular.
you pull
Pop
it,
right out.
you pull it out and you have one on your truck and you slide a new one in, and they're back in business. And the sewer department would have, whatever, half a dozen of them or a dozen on the shelf.
So the sewer department would replace the pumps?
Right, the model we're following, the scenario we're following is the pump and the pit would be owned by the sewer district and maintained by the sewer district. All that we would request would be that the homeowner has the electric connection made and they pay for the electric usage of the pump.
Oh, okay.
But,
So the pump would be paid for by the town?
yeah, it would be part of the project cost.
Okay.
Correct, yeah. And its maintenance would be part of the, you know, sewer use fees and stuff.
Thank you.
So there's been others where the other scheme is to have the property owners own and maintain the pumps, but then if you get infiltration and inflow and proper maintenance, it just doesn't happen right. Where a sewer department's gonna, you know, have a preventative maintenance and take care of things and keep them reliable.
sure somebody will wanna know those questions. Or answers.
Yeah, that came up in our informational.
No, it's been 2 years. I think.
Yeah, that's true. We
Even though it wasn't
probably
a
need
church.
another.
Yeah, that's.
Okay, so just two really quick ones, just active projects, wanted to get you up to speed. Hamlin Meadows subdivision, section 1 is the first piece coming off of Roosevelt Highway. That's in the warranty period, and we had a punch list of a few odds and ends in the summer, and that should be ready for, being turned over completely this summer. Section 2 is ongoing, and I know the binder's down, the gutters are in. What's left, John, the top?
Just the top asphalt sidewalk.
Top asphalt sidewalk. So that's ongoing, so there'll be more work back when the weather breaks and next summer on that. And some releases on letter of credit. Section 1, we're holding retainage on that until the warranty period is up, so that we'll be releasing that retainage. And then there's retainage and money held for section 2 for the remaining work. And Country Creek, we've had a concept meeting with Beeler's engineer for one final extension out on Country Creek, ending in either cul-de-sac or hammerhead, whatever. But that's in concept planning stage, so we may be seeing another multi-lot subdivision. So, other than that, we've been just busy with a lot of single lot planning board type of site plan stuff.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thanks.
Okay, thank you very much.
Appreciate
Good to see
it.
you.
Appreciate
All
you
right.
coming out.
Happy New
Thank
Year.
you.
Catching us up on things.
Anytime.
Oh, sorry, I missed that one. I was writing about it. Yeah, I probably should. Okay, I missed number 7. I got excited to see JP, so, requested town board approval to approve regular town board meeting minutes as January 13th, 2014 meeting.
So moved.
Any discussion? Clerk, please call the roll.
Baxter.
Yes.
Goodrich.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Peterson.
Yes. Moving on to number 10. Requesting town board resolution to execute the agreement of expenditures of highway monies according to section 284 of the highway law, so as to expend $321,244 of highway monies on 33.32 miles of town roads for the year 2014.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? Discussion? Clerk, please call the vote.
Baxter.
Yes.
Goodrich.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Peterson.
Yes. Requesting town board resolution to acknowledge the recreation department revenue report showing $9,723.98 above the $91,600 budgeted amount. I was pleased to see that. She did a good job. It was nice to have that extra.
So moved.
Second.
Clerk, please call the vote.
Baxter.
Yes.
Goodrich.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Peterson.
Yes. Requesting town board resolution to amend resolution number 32 of the organizational meeting to have it read, setting an hourly salary of $12.40 for the secretary to the building inspector, planning, zoning, and conservation boards for the year 2014.
So moved.
Second.
Please call the vote.
Baxter.
Yes.
Goodrich.
Yes.
Meyer.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Peterson.
Yes. A couple items that I wanted to bring up for discussion. We had talked about scheduling zoning workshops. I guess the question I wanted to ask prior to doing that, I've talked to people that were involved in it last time, and some of the responses I got, that it got to be a little cumbersome with every member of every board being there. One of the things that was proposed to me, and I just just throwing it out there, was that each of the boards provide a representative, instead of trying to have the entire town board, the entire planning board at the workshops. And then they can go back to the respective boards to discuss what was taking place. The other thing was that I kind of wanted to have a direction, and maybe you guys could throw things in, as far as, if we're gonna start zoning workshops, are we gonna just take issues that are at hand and work on them? Or do we wanna start with, here's the zoning map, here's our overall philosophy, and work from that? That was another thing that had been brought up to me during the time that I was out on the streets, was we seem to be zoning and working on things in a kind of a scatterbrain fashion, shotgun fashion, if you will, where we're just attacking whatever seems to come up versus having a direction and a plan. So I'm just throwing these out as items, for discussion before we start scheduling stuff as to which way. I had one of the, I won't say who, but somebody suggested that we don't even do them at all, that it's start from scratch. Which I didn't think was a good idea either, but.
Over the past, things that were discussed were problems that the planning board had, that wasn't addressed in our zoning, that whether it had to be tweaked a little bit or rewritten a little bit, to help out the planning board. And I've got no problems of starting way back. I think what I recommend, is there something right now that's before the planning board or the zoning board that needs immediate attention? And then let's go an overall plan and start updating everything along the way then, so that they could keep on doing their work, and we're not holding up the general public if they come in before the board for some type of variance or some type of zoning or plan to build or what have you. That's, I talked to Linda at the last meeting and suggested to her at their last planning board meeting that, give us a list of what their priorities would be at this point. And look at them, and from that point on, why then we could, go off in the other direction of starting a good base and working our way up through. Another thing that has to be looked at is the personnel book, employees' personnel book. We have to
We
work on that.
that would be another set of workshops.
Yeah.
I think the zoning board right now has an issue with substandard lots, a lot of substandard lots being brought in.
Yes,
So I
that
think
would
it would be,
yeah,
I would think that'd be a topic that would have to be one of the first things to be taken care of.
if we could maybe start with that, and then, my thought would be to make sure that we at least have a direction. Yes, we need to put out, that issue has become a kind of a ongoing thing.
Well, it's starting to get more prevalent.
Yes,
With the
yes.
water lines and stuff that you got in the district now, I think that's what's brought this up.
Mhm.
Some of the areas that don't have water lines still isn't an issue, but the ones that do are the areas that are having the most problems with it, so.
Okay.
At least that's the feeling I got from some of the zoning board members I talked to, so.
I think you're accurate there.
And I know the conservation board's interested in getting the workshops going again, any way they could help.
Okay. Anybody have any thoughts on the number of people involved in the workshops?
I never remember all the board showing up for any
No,
one meeting.
usually
I really
there's-
don't, I don't know where that came from, but I know that usually there was a representative there from
From each of the
each
boards?
of the boards, so I don't know how they come.
Possibly two from the various boards.
So we don't really, I wouldn't need to limit it, or, I don't
No.
think we need to limit it.
No, no.
All right, well, then I'll start scheduling them, and we can work from there.
I would think that, maybe the chairman or somebody he designates should be,
Yes, yeah, oh,
at least there to speak on behalf of the board.
Now, I will move forward with scheduling, put a schedule out for everybody. planning board has requested their own attorney, as everyone is aware of. We only had one application for that position come in. It is somebody that is known to the planning board, and the chairman said that they would be willing to work with that person if we would like to interview them. Since it's somebody that they do, it is known, that person is known to the board, so we need to probably set up the timer to interview so we can get going. Because I know Ken wants to step out of
Yeah.
that as quickly as possible.
As long as the attorney is versed on, you know, the municipal laws and that
Mhm.
affecting the planning board, like,
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to interview him. I mean, I've seen him,
Yeah.
he's been here, but.
It'd be nice to have at least two of them to interview, but, you know,
Yeah.
if we only got one, we should definitely interview that.
Okay. Any thoughts on how, I'll have to, actually, when I talk to him and we'll get a date together, see when he's available, I'm not sure.
Have we thought of advertising anymore?
We did advertise for that.
I mean,
You want, again?
I'm just thinking with only one, there's gotta be more lawyers out there looking for a job, I would think.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know who it is or anything else, but I'm just thinking, you know, it's tough to make a choice if you only have one.
Well, we could, I know, like I said, I know Ken wants